a world nearly destroyed by a cataclysm, saved by the actions of heroes long gone. A world that has survived, recovered, and even thrived. This is the world of Tyr. Here, the descendants of those heroes and the other survivors of the cataclysm have built great nations, the 8 pillars that support the world. Nearly 1,500 years after the cataclysm, the world is one of relative calm. However, beneath this veneer of peace, great forces move. With every shift and shudder, they threaten to disrupt the delicate balance that keeps the pillars standing. Now, across the world, knowingly or not, people must become heroes, or the pillars will fall and Tyr will be no more. Join us as we follow some of those heroes and see their struggles to keep their world from destruction. And we're live.
I'm really a Superman fan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tyr Astra Academy. My name is Golly Trainer. I'm one of the founders of Helpful Goat Gaming, and tonight I am the GM for this World of Tyr campaign. Before I get to turning things over to my players for them to introduce themselves as the stars of the show tonight, a couple of quick items and announcements. First, we are Helpful Goat Gaming, a small independent game content creation and game design community. If you'd like to find out more about us, if you'd like to hang out with us, ! Discord in the chat, or check out the Discord link in the description below if you're catching this on YouTube. Join our community. We play games, have a great time, talk about things. It's a really wonderful community, really great people. So I encourage that freely. If you'd like to support us doing these streams that we do, the stories that we tell, the events that we throw, there's a variety of ways to support us monetarily if you are so inclined. First and foremost, we stream here on Twitch, usually multiple times a week. We are affiliate, which means you can either cheer or subscribe to us. Cheering bits throws us a bit of money, and similarly subscribing gets us money on a recurring basis. And you can sub to us for free if you have Amazon Prime through the Twitch Prime partnership. If you have Amazon Prime and you enjoy content on Twitch, we really encourage you to use it on a smaller or mid-sized streamer, because it makes a huge difference. That sort of first little bit of revenue streams is a huge difference maker. So please use it either on us or someone else. Also, !coffee, KO-FI in the chat gets you our coffee page, where you can donate directly to us, and !merch takes you to our merch store, where you can buy lots of Helpful Goat merch, merch from the World of Tyr, Fates of Rin, Dom and Dragons, all kinds of stuff. So go check any of those out. The profits from that all go to us and to the artists that have produced these wonderful items. And we also try to make those profits honestly pretty small. So if you want to pick stuff up, we're very happy. Coming up next week, I believe we're going to have Spire on Thursday, but I have not had final confirmation of that. And on Friday, I believe Andy will be hosting a one-shot. The Fire Heist.
Yeah. Yeah, Fire Heist. I don't know what it's going to be, but doesn't that sound cool? Let's do it.
Let's go steal some fire.
Ooh.
But yeah, so come in, join, check us out, give us a follow here on Twitch, totally free, get notified when we go live. And lastly, we here at Helpful Goat like to focus money to communities and causes that make a difference, we feel make a positive difference in the world. ! Donate right now takes you to a list of charities that you can use to support free, safe and legal access to abortions, an important part of healthcare. So please, if you can, if you have the time, the resources, the energy, check that out. Check out resources that you can support in your area, in the areas most affected by changed legislation, and everything else. Before I also turn things over to players for intros, followed by a recap, please do note that Heather is real, not an AI-generated image, but she is having some camera troubles, so she will be intermittently frozen, but the audio is coming through just fine. And
excuse my crazy faces, but I'm amusing myself by making odd faces.
And then
in the
seeing which
camera.
ones stick.
It's like a
Yes.
Polaroid camera, and you're letting the film develop and then showing it on screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
I also
Anyway.
posted, Chelsea was not able to be in today, so I posted the poem on behalf of her.
That's sweet.
Which she had sent to me earlier today. So yeah, my name is, as I said, Gall, and pronouns are he, him, and I am the GM for tonight, playing everybody besides the people in front of you. And with that, I will pass it over to Chris.
Hello, I am Chris.
Hi.
My pronouns are she, her. I play Banvon Quickfeet, whose pronouns are they, them. And all I remember is that Banbon wanted best friends. And
You got one.
that is, yes. I have best friends now. And now we're going to do some magic. And with that, I don't know where Rachel is, but I have a new power bottom. So I pass it down to Joel.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Joel, he, him, playing Kentor Loki, the Satyr Bard, also going by he, him. I need to figure out what direction anything is, because it's always reversed. I think we're going to pass it this way. Slide to the right.
To Lena.
Oh, I think that's
Yeah, sorry.
Just in Discord, you're just going off screen, buddy.
Hi, I'm Lena, she, her. I'm playing Septima, who is a Dhampir wizard. Yeah.
I didn't even say what.
And she has a cute little, definitely not a dog, also. Okay, and I will pass it. I'm passing it to Andy, but I might be pointing the wrong way, so it might need to go around.
You were good?
It's all good. Hi, I'm Andy. I go by he, him pronouns, and I play Ben, who also goes by he, him pronouns. So how about Heather?
What is Ben?
Ben
I didn't
is
see what Banbon was either.
Ben is trouble.
Well,
So Heather, Ben, he's a halfling, a ghost-wise halfling.
a ghost-wise halfling?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm Heather. I'm clearly I'm not at home tonight, so I don't have my usual tech set up, and you'll be getting random and sporadic images of me, apparently. If the one of the t-shirt comes up that I'm wearing, it's a great t-shirt. It's from Pork Fried Dice. That's how I found Helpful Goat, and I'm really excited to have the t-shirt. So I just had to say something about that. I play Vanity Shifting. Vanity is a tiefling bard, and they are excited to be at the academy.
Oh, we
Back
see
to
it
you,
there.
Galway.
And we did, in fact, manage to get the shot of the t-shirt. Yeah, so would anyone like to read Chelsea's poem? It's also in our Discord channel. You don't have to roll up in chat.
I can read it.
I was like, I will volunteer one of you.
It's like when you
Don't
ask
pick
in
on us,
class, it's like,
teacher.
I know.
yeah.
Let's face it.
Day 2 at the Astra Academy with an abundance of magic inside. Home to the best babysitter orb guide. Oddities are occurring all around, but it's totally fine as long as best friends are found. Fate is in play. The world is your apple or your oyster. Choose your phrase. Thank you to your crew. You are seen and heard with love and great praise.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
We
Just
miss you,
you're the
Chelsea. When you listen to the VOD, we love you.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
All right.
You're dandy.
So, what happened last time, everybody?
There was an orb and apples and oysters.
I don't think there were any
Yeah,
oysters. Were there?
Oh no, was it? Okay. No, we got into this academy thing, and we all found ourselves in a group together. We were then given some free time at this school to wander around. We tried to ditch our orb companion, but that was unsuccessful.
And we didn't. Not all of us cared. Some of us cared a
Some
lot.
of us cared a lot. Yeah. And we went to the library for a bit. Got some
Yeah,
books.
we got books, and we found out. Well, we didn't, but we, as the omnipresent watchers, found out that Ben can't read.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben and Bonbon are best friends now,
Yes.
Yes.
and after the library,
Working
we
on
went.
Cantor.
Yeah.
Cantor's my best friend too.
Lots of people are.
And we
There
got
was
these visions.
yes.
At like a testing. Well, they didn't call it a test.
No,
Did they?
But we felt like it was a test.
Yeah.
More like an experience.
Yeah.
Like we
I
were
don't know
being
what word they
sorted.
use though. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and we also broke all the red crystals.
We
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
break them.
And
We don't
we're
know
in
what
there.
broke
Well,
them.
Well,
I
I
think
we
it was the
think we broke
fireball I
them.
cast on myself.
might have been.
Maybe.
But something broke all the red crystals in the room while we were doing the not a test and having our visions, which may have been dreams or something. My vision told me that it was just me, so I'm not taking other people's visions very seriously now. Thanks, my vision. And then we went to dinner. And
We
had
had
a bit of
apples.
a crisis. Yeah, there's apples.
We had apples and then a crisis. It had to
Yeah,
be in
apples
that
and then a crisis.
Yes.
A bunch of the teachers were gone, and Ben was getting increasingly freaked out.
Yeah.
The academy reception and I think the stargazing was canceled for unknown reasons, but also the student that wasn't there before came in to dinner late, seemingly
Mhm.
out of
And they
breath.
said that a lot of the teachers leaving was no big deal because
Yeah, which is suspicious.
it was
Because
very
they're just called
suspicious.
upon to help out in town sometimes, is what they said.
Yeah.
Cantor and Ben had a nice heart-to-heart, and Ben maybe doesn't really want the magic that he's given. Oh my gosh, Heather.
Heather, you're
Oh.
frozen in a funny face. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
making funny
jump
faces.
I mean, she
Scared us.
said this is what she's going for, so.
Yeah. Because if I'm gonna freeze, I might as well make it amusing. So okay, I'll be
Yes.
right back.
And Ben and Cantor were both told in their visions that they were needed to be like guardians or protectors or something. I don't think the rest of us got that in our visions, but Ben and Cantor both did.
Oh, I can't get my
Mhm.
earbuds back in. There we go.
Yeah.
And then we-
Cantor and Ben both kind of related to both being quote unquote chosen. Neither can really go home and kinda to a certain extent feel trapped here. Or
And
trapped in
Ben
life.
thinks he can only hurt people and can't do anything to be a guardian or help people. And Cantor feels like an outcast everywhere.
Yeah. And then we got to level 3. Somehow.
And then level 3.
Yeah.
Who cares about the rest?
We
Yeah.
are progressing greatly.
And we can go ahead and pick up from there. You, after your conversations, you went back to the domicile, and as you'd sort of been told previously, or some of you certainly knew, some of you might have seen or read, etc. This academy is on what was the grounds of the Convocation Arcanum's presence in Astra, and the government kicked them out, eventually let them found the campus using these. But so the domicile rooms are essentially laid out for squads. They have multiple rooms sort of going off of a small shared central room as kind of a sitting room. So you all are in sort of one of those sections so that your group is, oh, wow, together. But everybody's separate. And yeah, after a couple long visions or long conversations, Ben, one question I did have for you is you had commented on the potential for the guide to read to Ben. Did you want him to do that at all this night?
The same evening?
Yeah.
And stuff? I would love that. Yeah.
Okay. You can probably do a couple of hours and then still have enough time to finish enough sleep for a short rest. So the guide will essentially begin reading which of the tomes that you check out?
The one about sort of maybe dispelling or dealing and getting rid of maybe magic or magical effects.
So you a lot of the stuff in that seems to, at least in the first little section that you were able to get through, dealt pretty heavily with specific spells. So things like dispel magic, remove curse. So a lot of healing spells, you notice, that for trying to get rid of persistent magical effects on a person. And then also things like dispel magic, etc. And that's about all you got to. After you were sort of done with that, the sort of little light orb form of the guide dissipated. Their table in the central sitting room seems to contain sort of a inset for the guide to rest in overnight. And yeah, you all went to sleep, presumably. If any of you were reading or anything else, you had a little bit of time to do that. So I imagine September, who also doesn't sleep, or no, you do sleep.
No, she does sleep. She doesn't breathe.
Right. Oh, right. That far more common one.
Jeez.
Yeah, she stayed up reading as long as she could, and she fell asleep reading, probably.
So basically, you basically got the same.
She sleeps with her eyes open.
Okay, that works. You read for the same length of time, essentially, as Ben, though that let you read more, since sight reading is faster than reading out loud.
Did I read all the books I checked out?
No.
Jeez.
Wow.
Which one did you start with?
Blacker.
Golly, I don't remember what books I checked out.
Okay.
Let me see if I wrote anything down.
I wrote down my book.
Mine. Not saying I'm better,
I didn't. Look at all of you taking notes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bambon didn't even take a book.
One of the books I remember for you was on sort of essentially a cosmology of magic and its sort of origins, etc. So you get through a bit of that. It's a big book. Most of it is around, essentially the very beginning of it is around things around the forces of mana, and essentially you can have elementless mana, and then it can pull in elements, and divisions of that are what are typically referred to as schools of magic, is sort of ways of working with mana in a particular way to produce a particular effect, which usually have underlying similarities between them in their structures, though different sort of casters describe these very differently. Bards tend to refer to them in sort of harmonies being different. Wizards usually see them as literally formulae. Sorcerers describe them often with like texture. They feel different and they sort of have similar feels through schools. And some of that is stuff you knew, and then a lot of it expands and sort of more systematizes things you knew. And then you get into a bunch of things that are around sort of like the origin of mana as applied through magic. And this is where you've now like stepped into you are a freshman reading the upper graduate level book, and you're starting to lose track of what this is. Not because literally because of lack of education, not intelligence. you do not know the terms that this is building on. This is building on theorems that you have not heard of, etc. So you're able to sort of follow it a bit, but that's gonna throw me off all session long.
I don't know why she has so many. Heather, why do you have so many hats?
I'm at mom's house, and she has hat collections from when she and my dad
Okay.
traveled all
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
I have to say, this is the absolute best use of this technological problem. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get that through that. Bambal went the fuck to sleep. He wasn't sure what the
Wait,
fuck.
are there like any spells or magical formulae like written in the like margins or something of my book?
The margins.
Not really. There's a couple of like you not through where you read. You sort of start flipping more to try to see what falls open. Essentially, you get like a couple of receipts that people were probably using as bookmarks
Do
at some
I
point
think
when
they're spells? No, I'm not an idiot. Okay.
I was like, we just covered intelligent, not educated. Bambal went the fuck to sleep because they were tired, and had just eaten a really big dinner. So they were good. And yeah, you all wake up in the morning. You presumably get up and head into the sort of common room. In the center of the table, you can see the guide is sort of pulsing faintly with a light.
I think we have a
Hi.
message.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to say I'm very excited to be here with you all, and I'm sorry for my behavior yesterday. It's been pointed out to me at times by my family that sometimes I'm not the most polite or tactful or kind or enjoyable or, you know, just generally pleasant person to be around. I'm gonna do better about it today, and I won't let Seppi eat any more of your pet birds or the rabbit. That's Bonbon or Bonbon.
Ban bon.
Bon.
Bonbon's a cookie or candy or a treat.
Or
Bonbon.
anybody. And
I'm
I
bitten.
won't declare loudly that I'm bored or that we need to go do something else. And I will be a pleasant person.
Great.
Yeah. What are all your names again? Ban.
Ban bon.
And
I will be Vanity.
Vanity. Your voice is different again.
Oh dear.
And
my name's John.
John? Okay.
Yes.
John Banbon.
It's Cantor. Why don't you remember that?
Oh.
Cantor's the most flamboyant out of all of us, I'd say. I remember Cantor.
If there's one word you can use to describe me, it's memorable.
Best friend.
But
That's right.
It's good.
I apparently.
Well, okay. I will try not to call you the other one with horns. And
Well, that was
if
very
I can't
funny.
remember your names, I won't refer to you by your races.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
So who do we
Wow.
talk to about magic?
As you all have been talking and essentially conversing as you're moving into the room, eventually the orb guide will lift off of the table, and you hear a light tone, not like the bells or chimes you've heard before, and then a voice. Because of certain overusages of voice-based resources, until further time, the guides will have their speech protocols suspended. They will still be able to guide you around. Please stop making more work for me. God. And then you hear like someone walking away that just hasn't turned off the recording. That just sort of trails out for a little bit, and then
Grandma does that all the time.
then you hear just stop.
So we can't ask the guide questions now?
I guess not. Guide, can we ask you questions?
Sort of hovers slightly.
Well, that's kind of a dick move.
Yeah, what the fuck? I thought this was supposed to, like, help us learn about the academy and make sure that we integrated smoothly.
No, it was here to keep an eye on us.
Well,
That's all it does now.
that and answer questions.
Well, obviously that's not the main priority.
It's even more questionable if it has sentience and has now been silenced. But perhaps it's more of a construct.
I don't think it can tell me that I'm not allowed to break it anymore. Should I open it up and see if it has sentience?
As
You
I'm
As
not
you
going to open any of you up.
correct.
You're all my friends, and I don't open friends up.
as
but
you
this is
say
not my friend.
as you say it, you can't say to anymore. It like hits the ceiling.
I'm gonna walk up the wall and along the ceiling towards it.
Falls
Hey,
down to the
come
ground.
back here.
Wait, you can walk up a wall. How'd you do that?
guess. I don't know. I just woke up being able to do that.
Like,
My sister can do
do it
this,
before?
so
A family?
Wall walkers?
Family of wall walkers.
sure. One of you grab it when it's on the ground, and I'll get it if it comes back up here, and we'll open it up.
At
I'll
this,
pounce
it's gonna
on it.
scooch towards the door. Vanity, go ahead and give me a dexterity check if you're trying to grab it.
Okay. I gotta get into my sheet. That's a saving throw.
I had a feeling when we'd wake up this morning, it would be like hundreds of years later, and we'd be trapped in this place. It's a weird feeling. Shouldn't shake it.
Okay,
think
so I
that's
just clicked on
what they-
dexterity.
Yep.
Is that
You do grab it, and you have it for a second, and then as
No, that cannot be a hat. Please tell me that's a basket, not a hat.
I love it.
I'm not sure
It's
what
amazing
country it's
either
from.
as September makes her way down the wall again, the guide will sort of emit a small like blue bubble around itself, and like you're able to hold on to the bubble, Vanity, but you're no longer able to touch the surface of it.
I can't get the surface of it. It's holding me out. But here you go if you want it.
I'll take it from Vanity and try to figure out how to get through this. Is that what I'm trying to figure out magically?
Arcana.
Critical.
Oh my gosh.
I have a feeling this
A
is
total
oh
of
my God.
25, but
We're gonna need this roll later, and you just used it for this.
So
We need it for this.
You're able to figure out something relatively interesting about this. What it is doing is essentially casting what's it? Odalux Sphere. So it is a spell that completely seals it off from the outside, and it is very powerful magic.
Guide, tell me how to cast that spell that you just cast, and I won't open you.
It's going to sort of float up and down as if nodding.
Deal? Okay, I'll let go of it.
It's slowly moving away at the speed that it does when it's leading you someplace, like out the door.
Sweet, I'm following it because I think it's going to try to teach me a spell. So hopefully everybody else is also ready to go.
sure.
Oh,
Door follows. Nothing else to do.
Takes you down.
Yeah.
You're on the third story of this building. This is the domicile is one of the tallest buildings. But you make your way down, and it takes you down to the first floor, where you'd had dinner last night. And the room is now set out for breakfast. You see uh, it's very similar in a lot of ways. Like there's still sort of a buffet of food to one side and then tables, but the tables are less formally laid out. There's just sort of a bunch of tables scattered around. You can see lots of tables with obviously mentors, the professors sitting at them, groups of current students, groups of prospective students, all kind of clustered around. It seems like you're down a little late compared to most people, because you see a lot of people here. Like you're pretty sure all of the prospective student groups already, and most of the tables are occupied, but you find a table and settle in. And you can grab your food, and also you hear rain sort of very gently tapping on the walls and windows. And Banbon, being from Tethfarel, you would know it's actually pretty common for it to rain in the mornings because it's right up against the coast, so that the air comes in just enough, drops a little bit of rain. So it's pretty normal to have morning showers. And yeah, what would y'all grab food? And
Banbon's getting food.
okay. There's sausage, eggs, porridge, breads.
One of
Cantor
each.
looks like there's like a bowl of fruit or something.
There's a small amount of fruit. It looks like it's sort of meant as toppings for the porridge, or like mixings for the porridge. But you know, there's plenty that you could take some. It's just not a ton of variety. It's mostly strawberries.
Interesting.
I'm vegan.
So porridge it is then.
Porridge and strawberries.
I'm a level 5 vegan, so not even porridge. So.
We should probably all eat a really good breakfast today. Our brains need a lot of nutrition for all the learning we're going to do.
We do have a few classes, yeah.
Did anybody have any good dreams last night?
I had one where a vine was trying to choke me a little bit. Kind of
that's
liked it.
delicious. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so yummy.
had fun. It's a good time.
That sounds great. That's so good.
This is
Anybody
weird.
else?
Dreams while I was sleeping, but I thought about that question you asked us all yesterday, that what we dreamt about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I really have dreamt about wanting to help people, heal people, be there for people. But that's not exactly a dream while you're sleeping.
No, but that's still really yummy. That's such a good dream.
Yummy.
Yeah, this is... Why are we associating dreams with food?
I've never heard anybody say a dream is yummy before.
And this voice. This is all... You're all weird. All of you. I like it. Don't get me wrong. But you're weird.
Guess I won't mention my food-related dreams then.
Oh, please.
Yes, perhaps. I'll get to that. But yes, humanity has life dreams, not sleeping dreams. It may have involved walking through a forest and coming upon an apple that was far too large, and it turned around and had teeth.
Oh, wow.
You know,
That
I'm
sounds
sure
so
that's a perfectly
good.
normal dream. What
That
about you,
sounds
Banbon?
delicious. Yeah, Banbon, what did you dream?
Are you eating our dreams?
I mean,
you
that's a fair
can't-
question.
You can't eat things that aren't physical, right? So no. But sometimes it's a way to get sustenance, and it's better than this food, which looks amazing. It's such good food. It definitely doesn't look terrible. And I don't hate the food here. But sometimes dreams are better sustenance, right?
But does that
So-
injure us when you get sustenance from our dreams?
I don't think so. I haven't tested that extensively, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
And if I give you a dream, would you maybe make sure it doesn't come back again?
I don't know how to do that, but if you give it to me enough times, maybe I can eat it enough times and it will go away.
Yeah, that's because I get
Wait.
some scary ones.
Yeah.
You just said you're
I'm
eating it.
using common parlance to communicate with the common people. Bonbon. Banbon.
Banbon. Banbon's not common. Banbon is not
That's
common.
not common. That's
And
very true.
Banbon will no longer share dreams.
I'm not
No.
hungry right now, so that's okay.
Banbon's gonna
Maybe
like
because you just ate
grab
our
all of the
dreams.
food that they were eating and just kind of like scoot over to the side and just start shoving my mouth.
With everyone having gotten some breakfast, one form or another, the guide sort of hovers up again and starts moving out, and you can see a lot of other students from the prospective students groups. Several of them had already left because they'd gotten done eating earlier. You sort of see the last one, except for you all, has headed out just a second ago, and you start heading out. You know that your first class for the day is, I believe, Magic in a Mundane World.
We have a schedule?
Concerning magic, abilities, magic in the mundane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the handout, which if you click it, the picture gets much bigger and easier to read, or you can just use the
Okay.
Text.
text underneath.
What's our first class, Banbon? Do we go together?
Mundane magic.
Holy, great. Do we go together, or are these separate classes for us, or is our squad together?
Oh.
Do you know how
I
that
believe
works?
they were relatively explicitly clear that we're a group and to go to things as a group and to not stray off into forbidden areas of the grounds, which we'll definitely not go to. Wayne said that.
Definitely not going to do that.
So,
Surprisingly,
I prefer to
this
stay with you
class
all.
looks interesting. Go ahead.
Vanity, what'd you say?
I prefer to stay with you all.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I didn't know if the flyer said anything different.
so generally, you had heard it mentioned that you will take classes together as a group most of the time with all of the other prospective students. The exception is anything marked as specialty is for above the table
Us or-
your classes. So
Mhm.
wizard, cleric, bard,
Gotcha.
druid, etc. So its particular focus is on your specializations in magic. But yeah, the orb is leading you across towards the east classroom. You're following along the guide.
Follow along.
Are we like supposed to be taking anything with us, or is it we're just like
You weren't told to bring any materials,
okay?
so
Cantor kind of leads the way, but also for some reason is bringing the bowl of porridge and a spoon with him toward the classroom. No idea food and drinks is allowed. We'll see.
We'll see. Or small animals, but whatever.
Seppi's not an animal.
Beast?
Monstrosity.
Monstrosity. Well, that's lovely.
I'll slip Seppi a
know.
piece of parchment.
You have, for what it's worth, seen at least one other student who has a cat walking with them. You'd probably suspect it's a familiar. But yeah, you make your way, and the orb is going to sort of float and then turn left up at the upper hallway. And you see, in actuality, you do see, I just forgot to drag in tokens for a bunch of commoner NPCs. All the other sort of prospective students are in front of this door that, and you see several other guides like floating there. And you get there, and they're all sort of just like milling around, looking at each other.
Are we not supposed to go in?
Oh, hello. It's a high elven woman, that you think you recognize, from the group that was missing someone for much of the day. It's like, I'm Mars Vinny. I'm in group 5. You're also supposed to have class here. We're all together, I assume.
Is this the mundane magic?
Oh yeah, that's what we were supposed to have too.
Mundane world.
Same.
It had the words that were involved in the title, or enough of them that I figured, yeah. It's just the door is locked. I can hear someone moving inside, and we've knocked a few times, but we're not really sure if we'd gotten something wrong.
Well, let's open it up.
Yeah.
I know of a spell that you can use to undo locks. I don't know how to do it, but it exists.
Oh.
Is Benny
Not
going?
what I can do.
I was gonna say, Cantor kind of goes up to the door and puts an ear to the door and listens for, as they said, sounds, because that seems rather vague to him, like someone moving around.
Give me a perception check, Cantor.
Yeah. Nah.
8. You're sort of getting it in, and you hear like thud, and it seems like footsteps probably. But with the 8 perception, it takes you just a moment too long to realize that these are footsteps rapidly approaching the door. Which will then launch open, and a massive dragonborn who largely looks like a frilled lizard is going to sort of burst out shouting, "Welcome to your first day of class!"
Ah, fairy fire.
Cantor gets literally hit by the door.
Do you cast fairy fire?
Just reactionary. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I can hear.
Each object in a 20-foot cube within range. I'm just gonna go ahead and say none of your fellow students are making that dex save, because they're all confused by what the fuck has just happened in front of them. So, door bursts open. Cantor gets launched backwards. Shout of "Welcome to first day of class." Fairy fire. This legitimately about 8 foot tall dragonborn man is gonna sort of oh, this is quite festive. I figured this was an exciting event, so it was good to be excited. Was I wrong about that? You did seem to scream.
Well, I think people might have been just a little surprised.
I'm excited.
Sure.
Cantor is kind of holding his nose. Yes, myself as well.
Well, good. Come in. There's cake.
And we're all glowing.
Banbon's the
with
first one through.
this green
Yeah, you are all like
fire.
glowing, like phosphorescent. Most of the other students are like,
It'll wear off in time. I don't know how to turn it off.
The mentor doesn't look like, outside of being like, oh, this is festive, he's even bothered by this at all. Like, he's just rolling with it. This particular classroom, which is the one right here, is basically just a big room. It is not actually, all of 25 feet, so that your group takes up the entire class.
Fair.
I didn't want to do this entire building to scale. That would have been way too many objects to place.
Understandable.
Oh, I will show stream briefly the classroom. But yeah, there's lots of tables. You sort of move yourselves in. There are, in fact, laid out in front of like each seat, like on the desk in front of it, there is a piece of cake. And he'll just sort of walk back and settle down behind his chair, but he's sort of bouncing back and forth somewhat excitedly.
What does the cake look like? Like, it does look like really bougie, good cake, or just like kind of like basic, like got it from the grocery store cake?
It looks very nice, actually. It's essentially like a lemon poppy seed cake.
Okay.
Right, we're all gonna be
Hesitant to
high.
try it.
Very
Poppy seeds actually make you high.
September. It is very good.
Oh, this cake is actually very acceptable. This is the first good thing here.
I'll pass on the cake.
Yeah. Can I have your piece then?
Sure. Yeah. Boom. There you go.
Cantor alternates between eating cake and taking a spoonful of porridge. Eating cake, then spoonful of porridge. Probably not a good flavor combination, but he looks like he likes it.
Teacher's gonna sort of look at you, be like, my name is Pondrick Azula, and I am a mentor here, and my particular specialty is the study of magical abilities. Many heritages have minor magical capabilities as part of their bloodlines, and it is those abilities that I find particularly fascinating. They were for many, many years, you might know, about the only magic that you could find. But now it seems that mana and magic are coming back to the world. I will drop his name into the chat, but it was Pondrick Azula. And then he'll essentially give you a very brief summary lecture on the history of magical developments in recent years. He talks a fair amount about the magical research that was conducted during the Petrifying Plague as a way of trying to counter it. It was a time of great magical innovation and great focus on the study of magic. He also warns you that while the nature of your abilities and how you want to apply them is up to you, that you should be particularly careful, that there is a group called the Convocation Arcanum, two factions of which, the Commoners and the Unity, you should be very careful around. The Commoners will try to kill you, the Unity will try to conscript you, essentially. And at that, he'll sort of, summing that up, he'll open the floor to any questions about magical abilities, innate or otherwise, anything about sort of the world generally. Yes, Mr. Kinson.
Sorry, just wondering. Do people when they get their bloodline abilities, are they good at them? I mean, like, surely loads of people over time have gotten abilities and not been able to control them.
Oh, yes, this is quite common amongst heritages, particularly heritages like our tiefling friends that have natural abilities to cast magic. Often will do so instinctively when they're children, and sometimes that results in not the best control. Not at all unheard of. Even if ability is innate, it requires time and study to master it.
Or get rid of it.
I suppose.
I have a question. That's why I raised my hand.
Yes, Miss Septima.
Great. Thank you. So can you get rid of magical abilities? And if so, can you gift them to one of your friends instead?
Ooh.
I have never heard of someone voluntarily banishing their own magical abilities, so I can't be sure about the ability to gift them. Certain types of magics can enhance abilities between the caster and their chosen target of the spell, but I do not think that enough is known about removing magical abilities to be able to say if it could be given as a gift to your friend. That felt not entirely hypothetical, by the way. I'm a little worried here.
I just don't think you should waste things.
Oh,
Agree with that.
that's fair, I suppose.
I mean, someone doesn't want theirs, well, then someone else does.
Right. If I didn't want this cake, it's like how Ben gave Bon the cake. It's the same concept, except not cake.
I mean, true.
See?
Dull academic, though, Professor. Sorry.
Right, completely
Of course.
academic. Also, if you were to break somebody open, could you find where the magic lives?
Like, is it in the bone, or do you have to go deeper?
Or is there like a little organ that the magic
Is
lives
that
in?
yeah, like
I think the
Are there little
magic
cells in the blood that
bit of
control your magic?
magic?
Because
I
if you
think
could
it might
figure out where
be
the
in the
magic
soul.
lives, that would be a pretty easy way to give it to somebody else, right? You just take that little organ out, give it to somebody else, they put it in their body.
No, there's
like-
not a location of magic in the body.
Like chlorophyll in a plant. We can call them chlorines, maybe. Little ones, though. Microchlorines.
Yeah.
Yes, like that.
No, that would be stupid.
Wait, why do I have to be polite if the teacher's not polite?
I think I was a little Galway too.
I was gonna say,
Turned over a new leaf.
because the teacher wasn't being polite for a bit. Generally, it is understood that magical abilities, innate or learned, are the ability of a creature to influence the flow of mana in the world. So that does not seem to be tied to any particular aspect of the body or particular abilities, as much as many spells to focus your mind require hand gestures. One cannot say that the magic lives in one's hands, because if other spells that don't require it, you don't have to use your hands. I think that it is something closer to, as your friend Ms. Shifting said, it is an aspect of the soul.
Those are hard to get rid of.
And give to other people.
Very true. Been write something down though.
Behind you, several sort of rows of table back, a goblin man is gonna raise his hand. So,
Very fire.
if one was to awaken to one's abilities relatively late in one's career, what do you think is the odds of being able to apply them to what one has already been doing? And if any of you sort of peer back to look at who's asking the question. Again, it's a goblin man. He has a heavily scarred face. And though he's wearing just sort of normal clothes, nothing particularly, like he's not wearing armor or anything. I would say maybe Cantor and certainly September would recognize his bearing as someone who is a soldier or a fighter. He's positioned in just a way that he is very ready to react to physical changes in the environment. He is also, you notice, it only lasted a minute. He was, you might have noticed, actually one of the only ones who wasn't caught by the fairy fire. Just like, well, magic has assisted many ways. I think it's perfectly possible that it could. He's like, oh, thank you.
September's just gonna really quietly whisper, boring questions. I'm bored. But she's whispering it really quietly because she's trying to turn over a new leaf.
Because my camera isn't quite working properly, I don't know if you can see me raising my hand. But I am.
Ms. Shifting.
Or Mr. Shifting, either. You can use them interchangeably. That would be just fine.
Of course.
Or just Vanity is fine.
Vanity.
Why would the commoners want to kill us?
The Convocation Arcanum as a whole believes that the Cataclysm was innately tied to magic in some way. Within their group, there are three primary viewpoints. The traditionalists, much as I would say any responsible practitioner of magic would, state that perhaps magic did, and magic is certainly powerful, and thus we must be cautious with it, but there is no particular or innate problem with it. The commoners are much more fervent in their belief that magic was the cause of the cataclysm, and thus they believe that in order to prevent another cataclysm from happening, they must exterminate magic from the world of Tyr. The Unity believe that magic is a powerful tool that could be used against the cataclysm, and so seek to control magic users. Did you have any other questions, Vanity?
That, I believe, answered my question, but about that. In general, though, I also wonder how magic grows. I've seemed to notice that those that have magical abilities seem to be more powerful over time. And is that something that happens naturally, or is that something that that person must work towards?
I would say most generally that it comes from work towards one's chosen field or profession, as Mr. Tak's question suggested, pointing towards the goblin. In the cases of some, such as our wizard friends, it is often literal study that helps fuel their greater understanding. In the case of others, such as sorcerers who are born with magic, it is simply using their abilities, seeing what there is in the world. For others, perhaps like Mr. Kinsoot here, it is deepening their connection to the natural world, understanding the natural flows of mana more deeply. All of this requires effort, but the types of effort do not necessarily need to purely be study.
All mana, just using different means to do so.
Yes.
Badbon has a question.
You know,
Yes.
if we keep asking questions, he's never going to end the class. Just
But
pointing.
Have
But-
time for one more. Banban, yes.
yes. Okay. So you have told us that the Unity wants to use us and the commoners want to kill us.
Yes.
Why aren't they here now? Like, how is this place safe?
The
Are we safe?
government of Tethrel banished the Convocation Arcanum from the island. There is no major presence here. There's a small embassy which, at the request of the government, is maintained purely by traditionalists. They have only a token force, and to attack one of the pillars to attempt to kill this would be considered an act of war against one of the nations of this world and would not bode well for their ongoing survival anywhere.
So to stay safe, we need to stay here.
No, not at all necessarily. It's commoners rarely seek out or hunt down magic users. You would want to avoid areas known particularly for them. The Unity can be more ardent in their pursuits, but in my experience, many of them are relatively reasonable in terms of being willing to allow practitioners their freedom. Things can vary from case to case, and it's best to be cautious.
Okay. When do we get to cast the cool stuff?
And learn the cool stuff.
That, in fact, will be your next class. I believe each of you are going to work with the mentors for your specialties now. Thank you. The assignment that we mentioned will be due, I believe, tomorrow. Just a
What assignment?
brief
Wait,
essay
what?
on your goals for using magic in the world.
Can I read those after everybody submits them? I'm so interested in everybody's goals.
No? Perhaps
Why?
in their private documents.
Why?
Hey, help. Yeah, you can read mine for sure. Like, totally.
Thank you, Vanity. You're a good friend.
If you wanted to help evaluate them in the future, you could apply to be a teaching assistant.
Great, I'm gonna do that.
That will be for later groups.
Right, tomorrow.
Just go with it. Just don't tell her your dreams.
Yeah, with that, the class is dismissed.
Wait.
Oh.
That's fine. The class is dismissed. But basically, once everyone leaves, Kentor tries to get the teacher to the side. By the way, what was the name of the teacher again? I didn't write that down.
Pondrick Azula.
Okay. Kind of goes to the side. Yes, very, very quick question. I know that you're busy. Quick aside. I had a theoretical question that wasn't worth asking to the rest of the class. If there was, say, a space of negative mana or a lack of mana, and someone spent an extraordinary time in there, and then they were brought to this, any realm with mana in it, would it just sort of resume the powers, or would it sort of exponentially explode?
Well,
Just theoretical. I'm sure you deal with this every day, sort of thing.
this is not particularly my field of study. Magic of elementalism would have more to do with this, but the flow of mana in Tyr has increased in recent years, and we have certainly seen a corresponding increase in magical abilities. I do not believe that the Academy could have been founded much earlier. Their magic was far rarer when I was young. So I would say that there is no sign that it would cause an explosion, But as for the particular effects of an individual being crossing those, I would have to assume it would proceed much as it has with the world. Reawakening of abilities that were most likely there before and dormant. Let's hope the world doesn't
Interesting.
explode.
Oh no, I'm sure it won't, because again, this was a theoretical question and not pertaining to me. Farewell.
Like all of our questions.
So
Yeah.
hypothetical. Yeah. You'll head out, following the guide.
I suppose this is where we say goodbye for now and go to our respective classes.
For now, it's not splitting; it's leading you all in the same way towards the south gatehouse.
Then let's follow that.
They just look so happy.
Bless you.
Or locked screen. As you arrive at the south gatehouse, and you're sort of going down the hallways, now you see the guides split out into the sort of light orbs, each floating closer to each of you. Some of you are going down one hallway or another, but you all seem to be in this building. And yeah, at this, you all, I assume, split up and follow your guides?
Yep.
All right.
So are we like all in a 5-way split, or is it a 4-way since there are 2 bards?
Four
Yeah,
way.
I
The
was
bards are
thinking if
together.
Cool.
You're again above the
Mental.
table. You are split by class. And yeah, we will deal with our 2 bards first. You arrive in the classroom to find a dragonborn woman with a voluminous cloak covered in crystals, arranged in a pattern transitioning from bright blue to bright green. Greetings, students. I am Livicina, Noramber, and I am going to help you learn the magnificent arts of the magic of spectacle. Whether pure elegance of speech, daringness of feats of skill, or even the terror of the performance of a completely silent removal of a threat, your power derives from the impact of actions and performances. Here, at the Academy, we study the very nature of magic. For those such as us, the spectacle resonates through mana itself, generating the effects that we desire. Many of us focus our efforts through musical instruments, though this is not necessary. Before we begin the class for today, have you all learned a particular specialization in your skills?
Pass message to the instructor and say, I've learned to be inside people's heads, but I prefer that not everyone know that.
She makes a sort of sweeping gesture towards the room as if she's inviting responses from people on the other side. And very briefly, you can see her essentially flash a hand sign towards you, hidden by her cloak otherwise, that seemed to be like a, yes, I understand. On the other side of the room, a tabaxi woman, a very young woman, is like, no, not really. I don't think I have really a specialty. I just know that when I would, try to cheer up my friends, they seem to do a lot better at stuff. And it maybe turned out that that wasn't just a good inspirational speech. And then the teacher will look at you, Cantor.
I mean, I'm sort of a jack of all trades. I mean, I've got everything from playing instruments to inspirational speeches to dancing and if I had to nail myself to one thing, it would probably be more of a physical performance sort of thing.
Excellent, yes. And then the last figure is a Kenku, NB, who will look up. Lunchtime! Likes making things. And then you're gonna see them scribble something out and hand it to someone else, to Malin, and it's essentially a quick rhyme. It's nothing much but vanity. You feel that you probably have bardic inspiration now. And then sort of the fluffy wings will clap.
Yeah.
And with this, the teacher will say, now, let us turn to one of the less pleasant aspects of our performances. You are in a safe space for this, and rest assured that we will intercede if anything is getting out of hand. You two, I believe, are in the same group. You can pair up. And you're going to see another mentor sort of step forward, actually another student, and cast a brief spell, summoning an Ettercap. So let's have you two roll for initiative.
Okay.
What?
Initiative. I'm all over the place in my windows tonight.
You're okay. I have
didn't
rolls.
Okay.
Do it again
Oh,
if you.
it was a 20. But I didn't select my token.
You're fine. I can
Okay.
add it in.
An Ettercap's like a spider, isn't it?
Yes, it's essentially a giant, sort of humanoidish spider.
Okay.
Vanity, you go first.
Like, clearly we're supposed to attack this thing, or...
That seemed to be what the teacher suggested.
Okay.
Or in some way probably make it not a threat.
Okay. I would probably cast Vicious Mockery first.
All right. It's a wisdom save.
Pull it up. Mockery is a wisdom save.
It nat 20'd.
You nat 20? Oh, so you look like something I drew with my left hand goes ineffectively away.
Yep. Cantor.
Are you ambidextrous? Cantor kind of looks at this thing. Oh boy. Look, I'm not saying we don't want to fight you, but some wizards in this school are working on a new abjuration spell called Banish Ettercaps. And he's also gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
18.
Oof, that succeeds.
Cantor.
Yes.
Does a 22 hit you?
Yeah, I think so.
You are immediately restrained by webbing. As an action on your turn, you can make a strength check to escape. And it's just going to sort of... Vanity.
I am... Okay. God, I'm not... So it just succeeded on his... Oh, no, it succeeded by a saving throw, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'm doing this... If I'm doing this too late, that's fine. but I could cast Silvery Barbs as a reaction. Is that
Yes.
not the right timing?
No,
Okay.
no. It would have been a reaction when it succeeded, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I would like to do that.
So I'm going to roll its web recharge again, which it changed to a 6. You are not. Never mind. Retcon. Rolling back in time. Cantor, you are not in a web. It misses. And Vanity, do you want to give yourself or Cantor advantage?
I'll get myself. Sorry,
Okay.
Cantor.
I was gonna say, I assume you were still gonna cast the Vicious Mockery. Or you had already cast Vicious Mockery. Wait, no.
Oh.
Did you have it go against Vicious Mockery's save, or it hitting Cantor with the web?
I didn't actually distinguish, but I would have assumed the last action that it did.
Yeah.
Since
So
I was
the
late
web.
in saying.
Yeah, so that's good, because that way it is now your turn. You have advantage if you attack it or make a spell attack.
Okay. I would say I'm going to go for Vicious Mockery again and say, I really don't like your habit of breathing in and out. And there goes Vicious Mockery.
An 11, I believe, does not succeed.
Hey, nope, it does not.
So I believe it now has disadvantage on its next attack.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think it already had disadvantage, though, didn't it?
No.
No? Okay.
It has disadvantage on the next attack roll, and it took 1d4 of psychic damage.
Okay, and I can roll that damage. Okay. If I can find my sheet. And... oh, it's covered by the turn order. Hang on. And is that plus my...
No, it's a flat.
just a flat D4. Okay, it was a 3.
Nice. Cantor.
So what kind of a room are we in?
That's
how
a
big is the
long...
space?
It's a
Us
long, sort of relatively featureless room. This is in the South Gatehouse. It's heavier stone walls. There's basically no furniture inside, etc.
Okay. And I don't know, positioning between us, but could I... It's not a fireball, trust me. Can I position a 20-foot cube on basically it and, objects in the room, but not necessarily us two? Okay.
Yes.
Cantor kind of looks over to Vanity. If you have anything more substantial to hurt its brain, that'd be great at this moment. But what Cantor does is he takes a spare green apple that he took from presumably dinner yesterday, takes a bite out of it, seems to absolutely hate it, throws the apple toward the Ettercap, then he casts a spell with a random effect. So let's see what the random effect is. But it's Nathalair's Mischief.
Oh.
It did click the first time. So each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or begin giggling until the start of your next turn. The giggling creature is incapacitated.
Incapacitated, damn.
So if it's incapacitated, would it automatically save a wisdom or miss a fail?
No.
A wisdom? Nah.
Incapacitation doesn't cover that. Where the hell did it go? It crit failed.
I don't want to hear an Ettercap giggle, please, no.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
as you sit there and this sort of sparkle of light sort of comes out of this apple, from the sort of front of the room, you suddenly hear.
I didn't even start my joke yet. Sheesh.
Yeah, that's a. that is so the Ettercap. Oh, Jesus Christ.
So incapacitated is can't take actions or reactions.
Yep. And it also moves in a random direction.
Move in a random direction.
So it backed up, but it was already at the front of the room, so it sort of keeps backing up and then gets up onto the ceiling.
Okay.
And Vanity.
Okay. So it is.
By the way, don't go in that cube.
What's that?
By the way, don't go in that cube.
You can if you
Thank
want.
you.
It's not like a fireball or anything.
Okay. I am. I am not sure why I made this spell red, so I'm not going to cast it. But I'm going to cast Crown of Madness. Oh, it's not a. Well, is it a humanoid? Hang on.
No, it is not.
Okay, so
I was going to say,
would not-
good God, we're just all trying to mess up this Ettercap's brain.
Well, that's what I do. Then, and it's on the ceiling.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I will cast Dissonant Whisper, which is a Wisdom saving throw.
I like that it's just like ping-ponging around the room with no control over its movement repeatedly. 7, it fails.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so this is 3d6 psychic damage, which makes me happy. And is it just a straight 3d6?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. That would be 11 total.
Between the damage, the fear, the giggling, which is honestly more horrifying for you all than anything else.
Now that it's scared, it's worse.
It's sort of like giggle shrieking.
Oh, God.
It's just going to sort of fall down, and at that, the student who had sort of summoned it will dismiss it, and listening like, very well done, both of you. Yes, I think you will have quite a bit of potential. And with that, let's go ahead and take our break here, and then we'll check in on the rest of your group. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break. We'll be back at about 8:40 Mountain, 10:40 Eastern, and we'll continue seeing how everyone does.
Yeah, manage your fluids, everyone.
As Andy said, we'll be back. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
We're back.
Sorta.
Heather's been replaced by a couple of dancing boxes.
Ooh.
There's been
Dance.
some weird
Dance.
technical glitches beyond even the hat montage. But while Heather works on that, we are going to play through some of the other scenes because presciently I had done Heather's set first, apparently.
Worked out.
Bad bomb. You're led down a hallway in the southern gatehouse building, and you arrive at the classroom to find that it's more of just a room. It's plain cut stone with absolutely no decoration. It's like wider than it is deep, so it's a rectangle that's sort of going from
Right
left
on
to
the
right in
inside.
front of you. And sitting in the middle of the floor is a tall, slender man, completely straight-backed. His long arms are folded up to prevent them from hitting the floor while he reads. And jutting over one shoulder is the hilt of a very large sword. As you file in, he brings his eyes up and looks at you all with a calm, steady gaze, slowly closes the book, and unfolds himself to nearly 8 feet tall.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. You're like 4
Right.
feet tall, aren't you?
Yes, the vampire is like, oh wow.
Greetings,
You're
young
tall.
magic-born. You are what we have termed here sorcerers. You are literal sources of magic. Unlike others who require specific training and techniques to call upon the force of mana and use it to create effects, you have the natural ability to manipulate it. This makes you flexible, powerful, and usually exceptionally poorly trained and lacking in discipline. That's why there is no furniture in this room. We used to have some, but the budget was being cut into too much replacing it. In case you were wondering if it is possible to find a chair that is comfortable and fire, acid, lightning, and waterproof, it is not. He sort of will now like move back to one of the back walls. Oh, hey, we've got Heather image back. Can you hear us, Heather?
I can.
Ah,
Can you hear
goddamn.
me?
Yahtzee.
Woohoo!
I am Icthan Quard.
Wait, what?
Why?
I know not what has happened.
Why? Everything's good.
Oh, we have a Heather picture.
Okay, we're gonna keep soldiering on, I think. I am Icthan Quard. I helped found this academy, and I am a proud native of Astra. I have worked as a sellsword, a mage for hire, and a mentor at this college. I believe that channeling your abilities and learning the discipline to use them in a focused manner is key to allowing you to grow into your full potential. Before we begin, are there any questions?
I'm in just like complete utter like just shock of one at how tall this person is, and I'm very I'm just very excited. You can my ears are flopping. I've kind of got a little bounce going. Just very excited.
There's the spelling on the mentor.
Icky quad, right? Is that what you said?
Icthan Quard.
Icky quad. Okay. Icky quad.
Well, if there are no questions, let's get to the fun part. And for the first time, he cracks a grin. I said you needed to be disciplined, but I never said you shouldn't make bad things explode. If there are any issues, I'll step in, so don't worry on that front. Just try things out. See what makes sense to you. And in front of you appears sort of emerging out of shadow a two-headed dog that is fully as tall as you.
That was not like what I plan on doing. I clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah, no, you're good. And he'll sort of look at you. Bonbon, you seem eager. Off you go.
Yes, because okay.
Do you want to
Apparently
roll
I'm
initiative?
casting firebolt. Know what's going on here? We go. And over here.
Quick feet, less so.
Okay.
There's just dancing.
You're actually animated right now.
Moving,
Noticed,
yes.
that's why I was dancing.
Okay. This thing is sort of gonna go and charge at you, biting
And my
at
little
you.
bunny tail is gonna like tuck into my butt cheeks.
I think a 22 hits you.
Probably. Let me go over there and take a look. Hell yeah, it hits me. It's not cool.
7 piercing damage, and make a Constitution saving throw.
Wait a second. Why did I forget how to do that? Hold on, saving throw. There it is. I click it, right? Oh my god. How do I turn off this dice thing? There we go. 19.
You succeed. So you do not become afflicted by a disease that lowers your hit point maximum.
Oh.
Tails up my butt.
And now it is your turn.
Okay. I'm a little upset. I'm a little upset. I'm gonna cast this, I think.
Magic
Did it come
missile.
through right? Magic missile.
So click it twice more to get all the beams.
It's twice more.
If she just ends up rolling all threes, I'm gonna be like, God damn it, why did I not just take 3 times the first roll? Okay, there we go. Some variety. Yeah, so 3, 3, and 2. What do your magic missiles look like?
Carrots.
I was 80% sure it was going to be carrots.
They look like carrots that you have just plucked from the ground. So they've got like little stringy like root bits hanging off of them, which is like just kind of like little fire. And instead of like green leaf, it's like orange and red, and it just kind of and then but it's a carrot that comes slamming down into the object.
Nice. So all three of these will slam into the dog, which sort of like gets knocked back, but quickly. And now lunging in with its other head, it will bite at you. 14.
Yes, it is.
Okay. 4 piercing damage, and make a Constitution saving throw.
16.
Pass. So just the 4 damage. This thing is hurting when it bites, though. And you can like sort of on like your arm where it's bit you, there's just sort of this trail like of dog slobber, except it's kind of bubbling and green.
Okay. Bubbling and green.
And it is your turn. I'm super amazed you haven't done something that resulted in a wild magic throw. Although I guess it could have on the first level spell.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you needed to roll a d20.
No. Yes. Okay. So let me roll a d20.
And I think it's on a 1.
If you roll a 1, yes.
Okay, so you did not roll a 1. So it is now your turn again.
Okay.
I was just like, wait. Wild magic search.
Hold on, I'm sorry. What all can I do? I'm trying to remember everything. So, I want to use Tides of Chaos.
Okay. So you give yourself advantage.
Yes, on the attack roll.
Okay.
And I want to use hold on. This. How far away is it from me?
It can be sort of any distance.
Right.
It sort of bounces back after it bites at you.
Okay. We're gonna do magic missile again.
Okay. Which doesn't have an attack roll.
Yeah. So
hit.
do I roll it again?
Yeah.
Ah!
So twice more. Four, a 2, and a 4. Jesus. Anytime before you regain the use of this feature, the DM can have you roll in the wild after you cast a sorcerer spell of first level or higher. You then regain the use of this feature. Yeah, fuck it. Go ahead and roll on the wild magic surge table. Under the little cards thing, I made a deck for it under the cards.
Oh, cool. 18.
No. If you go roll under rollable tables under the hamburger. So, do you want me to just roll it?
Yes, because I don't see what you're talking.
No.
And I don't know what got rolled because roll 20 is slow.
You cast Fireball as a 3rd level spell centered on yourself.
Yes.
Do
Wait, where is this? Where is this? What where should I be looking right now? Because I'm totally
it's in
confused.
Okay. So where you can roll it is in the menu that's next to the cogwheel in the upper right hand corner.
Oh, okay.
There's like the little 3 lines, and then down there's rollable tables,
okay.
wild magic.
Now I see it. Okay.
So you are currently going to wild magically cast Fireball at 3rd level centered on yourself. You do have your apple, which has an effect that interacts with this if you want.
Oh, hold on. I gotta remember what my apple does. That's my playful apple, right?
Have an apple?
Oh. I spend the charge from magic apple to heighten the chaotic energy surrounding him. Okay, what does this all mean? In what's going on?
So basically, if you want to, you can use the charge on the item in order to roll again on the wild magic table. And then you roll a d3 to see which of the effects takes place.
Yes, especially since he said we were undisciplined. I'm definitely doing this.
Okay, so roll again on that. Right? A Modron chosen and controlled by the DM appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you and then disappears 1 minute later. Now roll a d3, which is like /R d3. Actually, no, roll a d4. I'm going to change how that one works. So.
Okay, cool.
This was actually the old version of the rules on it. So I didn't change the pronouns correctly. And 1. Only the original effect takes place. Fireball. Which I believe is 8d6?
I don't know. It's not a spell I have currently. Okay, so
yeah, it's 8d6.
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is glorious.
You've killed all your fellow people in this room.
Everybody
who are all like 30.
How do I? Let's see.
I can roll it for you if you want.
Yes, thank you. Because the thing only lets me go up to 5. There we Wow.
37 damage.
That's pretty good for a fireball.
So make a dex save because it's centered on you, and so you can save on it.
No one gets outrighted.
11.
Don't think that saves against your mod.
No.
Okay. The fireball goes off, and for just a moment behind you, you're fairly sure you can hear from the teacher,
Not this thing.
who though very quickly teleports in front of you, and will shield you from some of this. So you are going to instead take 20 damage.
Oh, I'm down. So down. I'm
Killed.
like unconscious down.
So here's what happens in the room. Not that Banbon is really able to see this, but just so you know. Cast
Negative
spell,
3.
suddenly fireball erupts from the ceiling. Teacher teleports in front of you to shield you. The force of this explosion essentially rockets the death dog back against one wall and rockets you to the other one. And you're just sort of limp dog, limp rabbit. And you're just,
I'm at -7 health.
and as this
That could have
happens,
outright you. That almost immediately.
Alone.
and at this, you're just going to hear, or at least you're not going to hear, the rest of the students will hear the mentor. Okay, so we see what I meant about poorly disciplined, right? You have been stabilized. You will be spending the rest of your class period asleep. September.
I'm so happy.
I like that your first canonical wild magic effect was the one we described in your visions. You're led down the hall. Jesus Christ. Wild magic sorcerers, man. You head down the hall and open the door. Classroom is filled with neatly arranged desks. Walls are lined with bookcases stacked with tomes. Standing with his hands clasped behind his back is an older human man. Who you are very familiar with, September. Lachlan Kingston will straighten and smile as you all enter the room. Welcome, students, to the study of magic in its most theoretical, purest understanding. While there are many commonalities in the schools of magic and in magical practitioners, your power is directly related to your understanding, and as such, you must strive to understand magic from its most basic principles. Let's begin. And he gestures towards the tables.
Like he wants us to sit?
Yeah.
Cool, I'm gonna excitedly sit down. And just nobody's here for me to talk to, so I'm just whispering under my breath. Yes, finally, we don't have to do boring things.
There are several other students in the class with
right,
you.
but I don't know them. They're
Yeah.
strange.
Okay.
Strange
As you
people.
excitedly sit down, you clip right through the seat and land on the floor.
Oh,
This is the first lesson. Your understanding must go beyond the surface. Magic is complicated, powerful, dangerous at times. You must understand it, push your understanding of it always, and in doing so you'll learn more and be able to do more.
yes, injected straight into my brain. I'm whispering that.
Are you actually whispering it, or are you stage whispering it so everyone
No,
hears you?
actually whispering. I'm stage whispering so that it picks me up.
Yeah. I just wanted to make
But
sure.
I'm actually whispering.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Around you also are three other people sprawled on the floor. A human man, a dwarvish man, and a gnomish woman. The gnomish woman is just screaming. Rather similarly to Bin's reaction, and you're pretty sure she might have screamed when the door burst open in that class. You think she was the one screaming?
Why are you so loud?
I just, this seems scary.
Calm down.
I'm sorry. I haven't been away from home much.
It's okay. You're on a grand adventure, and you're going to learn things, and learning things is the whole reason to be alive, or whatever we are. So, definitely, you're okay. Now shut up.
You sound like Lord Varisto. That is a name you very much recognize.
Who's Lord Varisto?
A prominent member of the Circle of Blades.
Oh, are you from name of capital city that I forgot?
Bruce over. No, I'm from a village a bit outside. Are you from Bruce over?
Yes. Why do you know one of the lords of Bruceover of name of country that I forgot?
Amnekia. He's a patron of my parents. They're cobblers, and he was the one that wanted me to come here and paid for it.
Oh,
Didn't
that's
really
so
want to.
kind. No, that's kind. Enjoy this. This might be the only chance you get to become something truly wonderful. I'm being friendly here.
I just enjoy this might be the only chance you get to become something wonderful. You're gonna see her, like, follow most of the sentence, and then at some point it just seems like the fear takes back over. She goes, "Thank you," and just huddles next to you.
Yep. Don't start screaming again, please.
I'll try. Oh God, what is that? Seppi has rounded the corner and is like,
It's Seppi. He's a small monstrosity. He likes to eat books and birds and is my friend. You're not a book or a bird.
"Oh, okay. Hi, Seppi."
Don't touch him.
She is just as a note, like, eye level with him because she's a gnome. As you say, don't touch him, like, her hand reaches out. Okay.
He's
Hello,
not friendly.
From the other side, you're going to see the human man. You do realize that's a gray render, right?
Yes, it's Seppi.
You're sure it's only going to eat birds and books?
I don't think I said that.
Mentor, I have a question. It's fine. Seppi will be fine. Now, does anyone here have any questions?
Yes. Can we start learning and doing magic now, please? Inject the spells straight into my brain, but I know that's not actually how it works. I have to study very hard, so please give me the things to study now. That wasn't a question, I guess, more of a demand. But I said please because I'm trying to be polite.
Your parents will be thrilled with your progress.
I'm so glad. They said that I'm very rude.
You might look to work on sarcasm next. Principally understanding it, less using it.
Oh, okay, but first the magic.
Yes, magic. Well, if there are no further questions, or screaming, let's see. A simple test. And with that, the images of of bookshelves will clear away, revealing a number of suits of armor. One of which is now going to step forward and begin marching towards you, sword raised.
Do I need to roll initiative now, or can I react first?
Roll initiative now.
Okay. Do I need to roll a separate initiative for Seppi?
I think we said, yeah, actually, I think we said that he has his own turn because we're letting him sort of do his own thing. What?
I don't see initiative on his character sheet as something I can click.
Is it an NPC sheet?
Yeah, it's an NPC sheet. There should be like an...
At the top?
Yeah, up at the
Very
top.
top?
Add
Yeah.
initiative or something.
Oh, it's just a tiny, tiny button. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the fuck, Seppi? Seppi rolled a 2 and I rolled a 12.
Sorry. Oh, what the fuck, Seppi? Huh? Okay, you go first.
How big is this room?
It's probably about 40 feet back. The other students and Lachlan are moving towards the back.
And yeah, like where am I in relation? Like
You're in about the middle of the room. It's at kind of the front of the room moving towards you, so you still have some range.
I'm gonna move all the way back up the wall and onto the ceiling. Is that 35?
It's sort of going the other way, going like across the room because it's narrower than it is back. You can very easily get up onto the ceiling.
Okay, and we're very well out of its reach now. How high is the ceiling?
It's actually about 15 feet up.
Okay,
Last time
so
you
as
said,
long
like,
as it doesn't have like really good reach, I should be out of its reach. Cool, good. Stage 1 accomplished. I did not prepare any combat spells because we're in a fucking school. Why would I think I was going to get attacked?
Have you
I
ever
also-
seen Harry Potter?
They don't prepare combat spells either. They
I
don't
don't think
prepare spells.
September
Yeah.
has seen Harry Potter now.
No, September hasn't seen Harry Potter. Okay. So I'm just gonna cast Toll the Dead on it. So it needs to make a whiz save.
Astonishingly, this is not an accepted immunity for it. I was sure the spell wasn't going to affect it. Oh, this spell is defo going to affect it. Who wants to take a guess on what an animated armor's wisdom score is?
2?
4.
Negative
Split the
4?
difference. It's a 3.
Nice.
11,
Okay.
so did not make it.
So it will take 8 points. I rolled max, thankfully, on the d8. 8 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
It's just like very, very loud bell sound fills the room, and I'm going to sound mostly calm, but a little panicked. I think the armor is attacking.
Yes, it's just a brief test. Lets you sort of work on the magic.
I know I want to learn new spells. You misunderstood.
First practice, then learning.
No, first learning.
It is now the animated armor's turn, which is going to move to like under where you are, and essentially make one attack at you with disadvantage because it's having to jump to get to you. So that'll be a 7, which misses you.
Thankfully.
Seppi's turn.
Seppi is offended that it's slashing at me. It finds it very rude and wonders if perhaps this armor is edible. So Seppi is going to move in and chomp.
It's literally what I named the attack.
Seppi rolled an 8.
Seppi moves in. Kang! and just sort of like wraps its feet around the like greaves. The animated armor like looks down from swinging at you.
Good boy, Seppi. Get him. Okay, Seppi's going to swipe now. 10?
With the leg still in its mouth. Kang, 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 kang. It's not doing anything. The armor's just like trying to shake its leg to get Seppi off of him.
Should these be plus negatives? I don't know how you set this up. The swipe was just a plus a -3 if you hover over it. For the d20 attack, not for the damage.
Yeah, the chomp's good. The swipe is subtracting instead of adding.
I can't hear you, Golly.
That's probably I just put the wrong symbol in. So that's
It'd still be a 13. Still, it's armor.
yeah. Well, it'd be
So instead, is it +3 to hit?
yeah.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
So it should be 16, which
Oh wait, no,
It's
sorry, 16.
yeah, but it won't
Would a
hit.
16 hit?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I must have when I was typing it, I must have hit the minus key instead of the plus key.
You're good.
It is your turn again, up on the ceiling, with an animated armor jumping for you, and your baby gray render latched onto one of its ankles.
Hey, you leave me alone. This is not appropriate. I'm here to learn spells. And I'm going to Toll the Dead.
I wonder if it'll make. No.
So
It
it's
did not
only
save.
6 necrotic damage. And then I'm going to walk along the ceiling the length of the room to walk over to the other side. Because it doesn't get an attack of opportunity on me,
No,
right?
no. It is not in your range. It is not in range of you. I gave it the chance to attack you by sort of exerting everything it could do.
Cool. I don't look very flustered yet, mostly just perturbed.
It's going to walk after you, which does give Seppi an attack of opportunity.
Which attack does Seppi use for that?
Either.
Jump. Does a 10 hit?
No. It sort
That
of
was gonna take forever.
It sort of shakes Seppi off and walks up to underneath you, and it will one more time desperately jump, trying to hit you.
Oh yeah, 20 fucking hits.
It's
No, wait,
attacking
it's
with disadvantage.
disadvantage.
13.
A 13 still fucking hits.
I was like, but you're a wizard, so I think when I see double digits, you're in trouble. 5 bludgeoning damage.
Huh. My character's not set up so I can type in the thing and make it do the math for me. It's fine. I can do math.
Okay. It is Seppi's turn.
Seppi's going to doggedly follow it.
Ha,
I
ha.
thought you were gonna say die. I heard the death. I was like, what?
Seppi explodes from failure.
Oh, you missed that part?
And jump. 16?
No.
What the fuck is its AC?
Higher than 16. That's the highest you've
And
rolled.
Swipe. 14. So this is just like a comedy of errors or something. Like, it's trying to jump up and stab me. I'm casually walking along the ceiling, and then Seppi is just determinedly following it, trying to bite and swipe it, and just failing.
And it is your turn again.
Toll the Dead.
You know what? Fuck it. It hits because
I know, you can still roll.
it's got a -4 modifier.
Okay, well, it's 2 damage. So
That
I
is-
hope this doesn't have very much health, because otherwise it's going to take forever.
At that, it's sort of the pieces of it go clink, 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 and fall to the ground.
You're a good boy, Seppi.
Seppi is furiously biting one of the now no
Good
longer
boy,
animated
yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, you get him. You chew him all up. And also, this is not what I came here for. I came here to learn magic. What the fuck?
Sadly, in the process of using magic and learning it, often we must defend ourselves. I believe Mentor
It poked
Azula.
me with a sword.
I believe Mentor Azula mentioned the potential threats of the Convocation Arcanum.
Yes, but I wasn't planning on ever meeting them.
Things do not always go as planned.
They usually go as planned when I'm the one planning them.
And yet, here you are on the ceiling with your grey render chomping at an animated armor's greaves.
I mean, I killed it. You can't kill things that aren't alive. I de-animated it.
Fair. But
Tell my
you
parents
hadn't
I'm very
planned.
polite now.
Perhaps. Finn,
Hey.
you follow the guide sort of down hallway, turn to the right, and walk in the door. Already in the room is a human NB, a dragonborn, a gnome, and a high elf. And the room that you walk into is warm. It's filled with the scent of flowers and plants, and arrayed along the outside edge of the room are potted plants of many different types and varieties, most even, you've never seen before. You do recognize some from Tethrel. Where else would you say you would recognize plants from?
Yeah, besides just maybe I don't know. I guess, yeah, maybe my own sort of very specific circle.
Okay.
But I probably haven't really journeyed much.
Okay. So you have a couple that you think you recognize from that, but you're much more familiar with the ones from Tethrel. And seated in a wooden chair near one wall is a short halfling NB. They are garbed in brown and green. Very simple, nice cloth, like good quality, but just very simple, unadorned cloth. Their only accessories are a pouch of herbs at their belt and a medallion, which is carved of crystal, with 3 leaves arranged around a heart. And as you enter, they open their eyes slowly and gaze at you all. Good to see you all. Please feel free to settle down wherever feels comfortable and welcoming to each of you. And
I'll find a spot with vines.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So you sort of plop down. There are
Second.
several that are kind of on like wall shelf plants, so that they're sort of cascading down, and you can kind of settle down in front of those. And various people plop down various places. Nature comes in many forms, some gentle, some harsh, some life-saving, some life-taking. Each aspect is a part of nature. There are, however, things that lie outside the natural order, twisting and contaminating force that some are devoted to pushing back. That, however, is a topic for another day. For now, let us focus on communing with nature. Before we begin, do any of you have questions?
I don't. Look around.
Remember, one of these people did have a question. The dragonborn man, who seems quite young, like probably 20 at the oldest, sort of raised his hand. I just, you mentioned that the nature can be quite harsh. Does that mean that we in our magic should just leave things to die? Is that... he seems very uncomfortable. No, not particular. They will go. Not particularly. There's many things in nature that are also beneficent. Now, if there are no other questions, perhaps Mr. Kinsoot, would you like to be the first to?
The first to what?
Um, in your head, you're going to hear, oh, interesting. Hidden behind sort of a cascade of plants at the other end of the room, amidst yellow flowers, you now see a massive yellow eye, and a creature that almost looks vaguely like a lizard, but has sort of carapace-like horns growing, or a horn-like carapace growing off of it, will sort of creep through.
I stand up, bring out my shield and my scimitar. Do you want me to fight that?
It is a thing that stands outside of nature. You must try to ensure that it is no danger to yourself or your classmates. You can fight it if that is how you wish to solve this problem, or apply any other means.
I try to put away my scimitar, but I keep my shield out, and I very slowly start to approach it.
Okay.
Do you mind me asking you what you are? But I'll say it in his head, if it can understand a language.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative, not to necessarily be in combat, but just to have it set up.
Fair.
Good job, buddy. Roll a 4.
16.
All right, so you move forward and you just say, "What are you?" to it. It's going to sort of pull back. Make a deception roll for me.
A deception roll? Interesting. Super charismatic. That's a nat 1.
16.
Nat 1 with a total of, with my bonuses, 1.
Its eye shimmers slightly as you're making this mental link to it. It learns one fact or secret about you.
Oof. I live with my Uncle Bairn until recently, and I've considered his death quite often.
It sort of like sits back and, and it's very weird because this reminds you of nothing so much as September at breakfast. After people would mention dreams, and it's just sort of weaving back and forth watching you, and you can kind of feel it learning this. Like, you know it has gotten this information. You know it hasn't been said out loud. You know that you're pretty sure no one else knows.
You stay out of my head.
Are you saying that out loud? Or
this time out loud, yeah. I'll draw the scimitar.
Okay.
There's no room for you in there. Now you can slink back to wherever you come from, or I can end you quickly. Your decision.
You mean intimidation roll?
Charisma.
Bin's first 2 combat rolls both involve. Oh!
Crit hit. To a total of 20.
Natural 20 for a 20. As you feel this sort of last bit of this fact about you leaving your mind, and you sort of issue this threat, you sort of see its eye, like the single enormous pupil dilates for a second, and you get the sense that actually the information it gleaned from you is making this more effective. It knows that you consider violence as an option, and that sort of gives away, and it's just gonna sort of skitter, like, slowly backward, sort of claws on the stone, and it goes to the wall where it was sort of, you thought, just hiding behind the plants, and it sort of just keeps walking through the wall, and disappears.
Can I go over and tap on it with my scimitar? See
The
if
wall?
it's actually real? Yeah.
Yeah, it appears totally real.
All right. Let's step back, put away my scimitar. Just kind of shaking a little bit. I look up at the professor. I'll then quietly go sit back down.
Well done, Mr. Kinsot. And this will bring your specialty classes to an end. You all are sort of gathering back out in the hallways. Your guides are leading you together, and it seems like actually all of the guides are leading all of the groups to sort of reform and gather together, because I forgot to say it to the Bard group. There were 2 other people in your oh no, we said that because we went over what they did. There was the Tabaxi and the Kenku. Yeah, and it sort of seems like all of the guides are leading people back. As you're standing there, a very tall bugbear man will, like, stride forward with just Banbon slightly charred, thrown over his shoulder, and he'll sort of very carefully place them on the ground. Group 4, I presume.
Yes.
Mm.
What happened to Banbon?
Bambon.
They happened to themselves.
I'm gonna go up and like, oh my god, like touching Bambon's face and just kind of accidentally on purpose cast healing something. I forget what I have.
I think you have Healing Word as a bard.
Yeah. Find my spells. Yeah, I've got Healing Word or Cure Wounds. Let's do Cure Wounds.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if bards could learn Cure Wounds.
I know.
Yep.
It should have gone. Level 1.
There we go.
That would be 11.
Banbon, you have 11 HP.
Bambon, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? What happened?
I want to sit up. Ah. Somebody cooking something?
I
You-
think maybe, yeah, you're
would
cooking.
Be you.
Oh, the ears will twitch, kind of like shake off some of the char. Wow. So how was your guys' class?
Offensive.
Apparently uneventful compared to yours.
It's fine.
I fought a suit of armor, and Seppi chewed on it. And I didn't learn any spells, and I'm very upset about that.
Seppi, incidentally, behind you still has like one finger from a gauntlet in his mouth, and he's just sort of going, "Kang, kang."
Did you learn fire spells? Is that why you're roasted?
Looming
What?
far above them, the bugbear is just like,
Is there a dragon? Did they put you up against a dragon? We had a spidery thing. That seems kind of unfair.
A two-headed dog that I shot carrot missiles at.
Huh.
And it breathes fire at you? That's creepy.
No.
Where'd the fire come from?
Me.
Oh.
Oh,
You got caught in your own spell.
Doesn't
That's
seem very
Dangerous.
wise.
Magic is horrible.
That's what they're trying to make us think, I think. They're trying to make us think it's dangerous. But I don't think it's dangerous. Well,
It's
maybe...
only dangerous if you don't use it properly. If you learn how to control your magic and understand it, then it can be used very safely.
Oh, maybe that's what the instructor was trying to make me understand.
I'm sorry
Anyone
that
else
happened.
hungry?
Let's get something to eat.
Not rabbit, though.
Although it does smell good.
the bugbear is going to reach down and pat you, Banbon. You have the potential to go far. And not just in the projectile sense. And sort of turn, walk away slowly. And in fact, the next item on your agenda is a lunch, a picnic in the gardens. But I think we'll get to that next time. A little bit shorter tonight, but I know a lot of people are tired, so let's cut it off there. You all managed to survive. Banbon, mostly. It was a near thing.
It's only mostly dead.
Yeah. I don't remember. The schedules on Fridays got weird, but I think we're playing again in 2 weeks. If not 3 weeks.
I think so.
For some reason I was
3 weeks.
thinking
We're
the
playing on
19th,
September 9th.
Yes.
Today's the 19th.
So 3 weeks.
Oh,
3
God,
weeks.
it is, isn't it?
9th,
Crap.
not
9th.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I just couldn't remember. Yeah, so we'll be back on the 19th. Coming up next week, Andy will have a one-shot on Friday. There is Spire on Thursday. Tune in for both of those. I'm sure they will be a ton of fun. If you enjoyed this, check out all of our content over on YouTube. There's the entire World of Tyr playlist, which is at this point obscenely long. And you can catch up on some of the references that were in this one. Which one had a returning character. And yeah, from all of us here at Helpful Good Gaming, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much to the players, as always. Stay safe, be well, take care of yourselves and of each other. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Later.